This video, we are going to see one more example of the scheduling algorithm, that is FCFS. So in this example, I have given the burst time and the arrival time for each process. So total number of processes are 5. Okay. But in the earlier example, I have given the waiting time and the finish time also. But in this example, there is no waiting time and the finish time is given. We are going to determine the waiting time and the finish time. Now, as I told you in the earlier example, that arrival time is a preliminary requirement of FCFS. So, through this, we are going to write the Gantt chart and the position of each process in the Gantt chart. So, the position of each process in the Gantt chart, let us look at that. The first position of the process is P2, then P1, then P4, then P5, and at the end the position of P3 will be there, because the arrival of P2 is first. After that, the arrival of P1 will be there. Then at the third position, the P4 will be written in the Gantt chart, and at the end the P5 will be there. Though we know that the arrival time of P4 and P5 is the same, but in the queue the P4 has arrived first and the later P5 has arrived. So P2 to at the end the P3 has arrived. At the end the P3 has arrived. So at the end the position P3 will be there. So P2, P1, P4, P5 and P3. So now the burst time of each process we are going to add in the start time of the process. So we know that the P2 has arrived first, so it has started first. So the 0 second is taken by the P2, and the burst time for P2 is 2. So the burst time we are going to add in the start time. So 0 plus 2, that is 2. So at the 2 seconds, the P2 has finished its execution, and at the same time the P1 process is going to start, and the burst time for the P1 is 4. This is 4. So now the 4 will be added in the start time of the P1. So 2 plus 4 is 6. So at the 6th second the P1 process is going to complete its execution, and at the same time the P4 process has started. So the burst time for P4 is 5. So 6 plus 5, that comes 11. So at the 11th second, the P5 process starts, and the bursting time of the P5 is a 7. So the 7 we are going to add. So 11 plus 7, that comes 18. So 18th second, at the 18th second, the P5 process finishes its execution and the P3 process starts. So the starting time of P3 is 18. The burst time of P3 is 3. So 18 plus 3, that comes 21. So at the 21 second, the P3 finishes its execution. So now, according to this Gantt chart, we are going to calculate turnaround time, waiting time, average waiting time and average turnaround time. So I have written separately the start time of each process according to this Gantt chart. Okay. As I told you in the earlier example also, this is a start time and this is a finish time. So the start time for P2 is 0, P1 is 2 and so on up to the P3. So according to this Gantt chart only I have written the sequence here. Now we are going to calculate first, that is the waiting time. The waiting time first. So what is the formula for the waiting time? Waiting time equal to start time minus arrival time. So arrival time we are going to deduct from the start time. So P1. So let us consider the first P1. You can start even from the P2, no problem. I have started with the P1. So P1, the start time is 2, yes, and the arrival time for P1 is 1. Okay, so 2 minus 1 equal to 1. P2 start time is 0. Arrival time is also 0. So 0 minus 0, 0. P3 start time, okay, let's see the 18. Arrival time is say 3. So 18 minus 3, 15. And this is how you can calculate for P4 and the P5. So here we have got the waiting time of each process. So now we are going to calculate the averages. So for the average, we are going to add these waiting time. So we have added here. After doing the addition, we have got a value 29. The number of processes are 5. So hence the 29 is divided by 5. So we will get the value is 5.8 microsecond. That is the average waiting time. Now we are going to calculate the turnaround time. So what is the formula for turnaround time? Turnaround time equal to finish time minus arrival time. So we know the arrival times and now we are going to see the finish time. So let's go back to our Gantt chart. The finish time is written here for P2, P1, P4, P5 and P3. So I have written here the separate finish time. Separately I have written here for each process. For P1 is 5, P2 is 2, P3 is 18, for P4 is 9 and P5 is 16. So let us going to use this. Okay. So for P1 finish time is 6 minus arrival time, that is 1. So 6 minus 1, 5. Same for P2, P3 and so on. So up to P5 we have calculated here the turnaround time for each process. Now to do an average turnaround time, we are going to add this. Okay, we are going to add this same as we have added the waiting time of each process. So we have added it and we got a value 50 whole divided by this 50 will be divided by 5 and that is a 10 milliseconds is the average turnaround time for the 5 processes, total 5 processes.